Welcome to what has become a regular Full Force Movie News Burst Weekly Roundup, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com with me, Christopher McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80, and Justin Generals Joes Bell. In these seemingly regular movie-related episodes, we bring you all the news from the last week that was Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. It's the Full Force Movie News Burst Weekly. Easy for me to say now. Justin, it's a bit busy, isn't it, at the moment?
It is a little bit busy, yeah.
I've had to redo this document, this show prep document, about 30 times, and it's still not up to date.
They were still sending us stuff like, what, an hour ago, 90 minutes ago, something like that? I mean, it's nonstop.
I would say calm it down, but like this is the whole reason we do this stuff, so don't calm it down.
Exactly, yeah, I don't want them to calm it down.
Well, we won't. Don't worry, they're not going to. Let's start then in new images news. Almost 2 weeks ago, the Snake Eyes movie social pasteds. I'll start that again.
Pasties?
Almost 2 weeks ago, the Snake Eyes movie social pages posted a brand new image from the upcoming film showing Shake Eyes. I can't talk right now.
What is going on?
Showing Snake Eyes, Henry Golding, and Storm Shadow, Andrew Koji, in what looked like a serious conversation in the Arashikage Gardens. In addition to this new image, and earlier this week, CBR.com shared even more shots from the film, showcasing various scenes with the majority of the main cast. CBR also revealed more details regarding the Comic-Con at Home cast panel hosted by Marie Takahashi. The panel will take place on Wednesday the 21st of July at 1pm Pacific live on YouTube and will feature interviews with the cast and Larry Hama, as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes footage from the film. First off then, Justin, great to see some new images from the movie, isn't it? I mean, we've got more to talk about coming up, but let's talk about these images first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grabbing into every last little bit of morsel of news we get. So, I'm still really kind of anticipating the new trailer. But until then, I think seeing, all these new images, it's just great. It's really kind of, even though some of these images are obviously kind of clipped from scenes in the trailer that we've already seen, I think they do add some, they shed some light to, some key moments in the movie, and I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We're down to like 2 weeks now, so I'm ready for it.
Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. There's some really interesting shots in there as well. I really like the fact that we see Haruka Abe in that as Akiko in that kind of alleyway where she's just literally taking out all those bad guys, and obviously we see that in a different angle and different kind of cool shots in the actual trailers, don't we?
Yeah, and it kind of makes me wonder if, she's the one kind of jumping up on the wall with putting her legs between.
Definitely.
It seems like that's her, yeah. So, I really love this sort of process of the trailers and the images, and you can really start kind of putting the pieces together and see how it all is going to shape out. But yeah, I love that image. That was a great image.
We can talk all day long about these images, but in all honesty, we have moving pictures to discuss a little bit later on. But before we get to any of that stuff, are you excited for this panel? Because again, we've seen so much new stuff dropping today, so much new footage.
Yeah,
they're still saying there's going to be something new here, but I've got the feeling I've kind of feel like I've learned my lesson with some of the panels. They're just going to use some of the behind the scenes footage that we've already seen, probably, right?
I suspect so. Yeah, I mean, there may be a tiny little snippet here and there, but yeah, I'm not expecting anything mind blowing from the Comic-Con at Home panel. I think it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be, and like I said, you may see a little bit of something new, but I don't think you're going to see anything extraordinary that we haven't seen already.
And there's been some pretty extraordinary stuff to be seen, but yeah, again, we'll be looking forward to seeing that SDCC panel. Like I said, that kicks off on Wednesday the 21st of July, 1pm Pacific, live on YouTube, hosted by Marie Takahashi, who is actually a pretty massive YouTube celebrity on her own merit. Which they've kind of been doing a lot recently. We had, obviously, Cleo Thomas doing the live stream for the Snake Eyes Declassified event. He's got like a huge following as well. So you can definitely see where the marketing team here are, they know what they're doing, don't they?
Well, the landscape has changed significantly. Like, I have an 11-year-old daughter, and if I ask her like what celebrities she admires or really kind of looks up to, she rattles off a dozen YouTube personalities. She's not even talking about people
Chris
who are in the
McLeod,
movies or on TV
Full
shows.
Force podcast,
exactly,
Justin Bell.
I think you're
Pat
probably
Stewart.
you might be number 12, somewhere on our list.
Deal with that.
Not
Deal with
bad.
that,
But
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, she's all about, she loves Minecraft, she loves Roblox and all that stuff. So all, her like top tier celebrities are the YouTube stars who kind of talk about these games and things. So it's a whole different world these days of kind of who is considered a celebrity. And who isn't. So, it's really interesting that Paramount is, sort of acknowledging that and leveraging those sorts of people to kind of talk about this, because they've got this dedicated reach in this fan base. You can't guarantee that some random Hollywood celebrity is going to have a wide enough reach, but you find a YouTube star that's got 3 million subscribers. There's obviously people that really care what they say, and so it's pretty interesting.
It's these like automatic platforms, isn't it? It's almost like if they do any kind of promo for it, it's like instantly gonna hit that audience. So it makes so much sense. And I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what it's like. Probably very similar to all the panels we've seen recently. But again, we've seen some really cool stuff so far. So yeah, more the merrier. Which kind of leads us into some really interesting new trailer news. So far, we've had teaser trailers, full trailers, completely unique international trailers, featurettes, a number of character-specific videos with extra footage for the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins movie, and now HISSTANK have reported that a third trailer is on the way, which seems kind of completely benign at the moment because we've had so much new stuff happen recently, but in an official submitted document they received with each trailer revealed so far, including the running times for each, a third trailer clocking in at 2 minutes 25 seconds made a shock appearance. Based on the running time and close proximity to the actual release of the film, it is very likely this will be the last full trailer before the 23rd of July. We did suspect this trailer would make its debut at the Animo Expo earlier in the week, however that wasn't to be. We did get a brand new interview with Larry Hama though, but unfortunately no new footage was shown. Justin, are you excited to see even more from this film, or would you be happy just to see the movie at this stage?
Oh, I mean, we're getting close enough to the point where I'd be happy just to see the movie, but I think this is pretty status quo. I mean, you often see these big films that will have, show some trailers, and they'll have the quote unquote final trailer that is supposedly the last big, 2-3 minute trailer. I think what's kind of spoken to sort of the strange, timing of the marketing for this film is that we've gotten 3 different trailers and then the final trailer all within like a few weeks of each other, just because, for whatever reason, it took them forever to launch that first trailer. So it seems like it's all been compressed into this 1 month period of time. We're just kind of like bang, 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 which, is fine. It's made for a pretty exciting month, but so I think we'll see this final trailer. They got to show it soon because, the movie's 2 weeks away. So, if it doesn't happen in the next week or so, it's going to be kind of too late. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it and seeing, any footage we get in advance of the movie, I'll be excited to see.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I feel the same way. And I'm all for seeing even more cool stuff, which we have today. Do you know what? We might as well just move straight into it because we're there already. And that's in TV spot promo news. Speaking of new trailers, the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins movie has had it's about 50 brand new TV spot promos appear around the world recently, including a big 30-second promo that contains some new, previously unseen footage. The main promo is titled "Your Rage is Your Weapon," not your sword, and begins with Storm Shadow's speech regarding the Arashikage, and this is where we get 2 blink and you'll miss them additional shots of Henry Golding and Andrew Koji at the Arashikage Temple. We see a new shot of Snake Eyes as a child looking at his burning house, and then a shot of the transition between his young face to his older face during that illegal street fight. It's safe to assume the movie will carry this transition over to the final cut. We then get 2 new shots in a row with Andrew Koji on the private jet and a different angle of that street fight with the crowd, and then a shot of Henry Golding again getting ready to fight. The last new piece of footage shows Storm Shadow walking away from the Arashikage in his full uniform before a quick montage of all the previously used footage takes us to the end. Justin, how cool was it seeing this pop up randomly? And I say this, I mean, this promo, a number of TV promos from international audiences. So much new stuff has been kind of flooding our eyes here, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, the TV spots are cool. Seeing little smaller snippets that aren't complete trailers, but like you said, they sometimes sprinkle new footage in there. It does make it feel a little bit more real that there are these TV spots, that it's not just web-based trailers. It's actually shorter promos that are appearing on television that people, just regular people can see, not people who are actually hunting it out. I was pretty interested with the whole the rage is your weapon kind of promo. It's curious just because the trailers that we've seen so far, I haven't really gotten a sense of rage necessarily from Snake Eyes. Obviously he's, you've gotten some mixed emotions or whatever, but you haven't really felt that sense of that he really is angry at the world and stuff. So, I mean, clearly there is some of that element in the film. So I'm a little bit excited to see how they portray that, going forward, especially in the film, because I really got the impression that in the comics, Snake Eyes really was sort of barely contained, rage at all times. You got the impression he just had to kind of unleash himself a little bit, and that's where some of this, these martial arts skills came from. So I want to see how they kind of relay that to the film.
Yeah. And I should also probably mention, and staying on, this is just like, it's like a constant conveyor belt of new things. But this morning, we also got a new featurette, did we not? Alongside the information that, guess what? Tickets are now available. So you can go to Fandango and you can get tickets for Snake Eyes right now. You can also, if you go to AMC, go in for their sweepstakes to win something like $5,000 worth of gamer stuff. So like, if you might be the lucky person that ends up with that. But just by getting Snake Eyes tickets. So yeah, some pretty crazy news flying out this morning. Now, with the news of those tickets going on sale via Fandango, they also shared this amazing featurette, didn't they, of behind the scenes of all the fight training. Now, this is like so cool. This is like loads more new, clear footage. We've got like a little, beautiful little back and forth between Snake Eyes and Haruka Abe in there. We get to see Kenji Tanigaki at work. We get to see Kamani Ray Smith, the stunt coordinator, at work. This is like really cool stuff, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's great. I really like how they're kind of showing the wider breadth of characters. I mean, even in this video, we also saw Samara Weaving and, Ursula Cabrero kind of, as well as kind of the interaction between sort of the other characters too. So it's cool because, I mean, a lot of this stuff is focused on Henry Golding himself and all the different training and conditioning and stuff that he went through. But the other actors involved clearly had to go through some stuff as well. And I thought it was really cool kind of seeing that portrayed in this, in this featurette, especially when it came to some of the other characters involved. It was really cool. I like how they did that.
So intense as well, like everything they're doing. Something that I thought was really funny was what Samara Weaving said. She said, very intense but super fun, kind of like learning how to dance, but you were bruised at the end.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
She strikes me as very funny. Like, she strikes me as someone that's like always like got that little, like, I don't know, that kind of sense of humor. And yeah, I think she's going to be great as Scarlet. And definitely. Also, like Ursula Cabrero she does a little soundbite as well, saying it was hard, but now I feel invincible. And honestly, I bet they do after doing something like that. When you're looking at like what Henry Golding's doing, like flips and all these kind of things, you're thinking, damn, that guy did not know how to do that before this training took place. That blows my mind.
It's nuts. Yeah, I mean, as somebody who does spend some time, working out and lifting weights and kind of setting some of those goals for myself, you do have sort of a feeling of accomplishment once you've reached something like that. So I think going into, I'm an actor, I'm making a movie, but, at the end of the movie, I can do a full backflips while standing, and, it's got to be a really crazy feeling, and it's got to be really cool. And it can, it's really kind of change your life just in the process of kind of going through that stage. It's pretty incredible. I really am interested and kind of fascinated how actors sort of, go through that process and accumulate those skills. And, you hear all the time, guys like, Hugh Jackman, who was Wolverine for so many years and completely transformed his body, and, all the people in the MCU and stuff like that, Chris Pratt, who was, a pudgy guy in Parks and Rec, and then, got a six pack and all this stuff. It's pretty interesting and fascinating to kind of have how that, that transition and transformation happens, especially somebody like Henry Golding, who was pretty much in romantic comedies, up until a year or so ago, and now is, poised to be an action star.
I'm still of the mindset that Chris Evans did actually take super soldier serum. There's no way, after seeing him before and after like that.
It's crazy.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, well, I don't need to get into the controversy here, but I think there's rumors flying around about exactly what actors are willing to do in order to get into movie shape, which probably includes stuff that
I'm sure
some of us don't have access to or wouldn't want to dabble in if millions of dollars weren't at stake.
like super soldier serum. Anyway,
exactly. Yeah.
Continuing with behind the scenes stuff and explosion. Ursula Corbero, who plays the Baroness in the upcoming film, shared a behind-the-scenes image of her in the recording studio with the caption, translated, dubbing the Baroness into Spanish. In the image you can see the Spanish title of the film with the release date in Spanish below on the screen and the actual movie script just behind her. She has strategically thrown up a peace sign to obscure the script, but it's cool nonetheless. In addition to this, Snake Eyes himself, Henry Golding, dropped a very cool behind-the-scenes sword fight training video to his socials, and my word does he make it look easy. The video came with the caption, "Drill it till you're raw." Gross. We had some of the best stunt
No, that was this kind of movie.
Snake Eyes? We had some of the best stunt performers from around the world with us teaching and sharing their wisdom. Thank you, what an experience. July 23rd, baby, see it in theatres. Considering the fact that he hadn't even picked up a sword prior to filming, it's quite remarkable just how good he looks in this sequence. The stunt team are exceptional, and even though they are using safety swords, the choreography just looks so effortless, which I'm sure has taken countless hours to hone, and the payoff is outstanding. Cannot wait to see all the hard work translated onto the big screen now, and it really isn't far off. So close, in fact, that this awesome standee was spotted in New York City at a movie theatre and posted by El Joyabella on Instagram. I need that in my place for reals as well, but again, tons more behind the scenes stuff. Ursula Corbero doing overdubs for the Baroness in Spanish. I guess that helps, because I mean, they're not getting all the actors to do that. They're just they're gonna get Spanish actors to overdub that. But the fact that she does speak Spanish adds really cool element there to what I kind of want to watch the Spanish version now as well, just to see it,
Yeah, I mean that is cool, and it's another thing that you don't really take into consideration when it comes to the global reach of these Hollywood films, about how they have to have foreign language actors actually recite the entire film for those foreign audiences, and yeah, there's a benefit that Ursula Corbero has that that secondary language that she can leverage those skills in order to help out a little bit.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I would laugh if she's doing the whole movie. She's doing everybody,
speaking all the parts,
narrating it, making like accents up that would be brilliant, amazing. Yeah, no, she's obviously going to be only doing her own voice there, but like really cool. And again, I just feel like there's so much going on. It's really hard to kind of keep track of at the moment. But with, that's pretty much all the behind the scenes stuff going on. Again, Henry Golding, we've seen him doing this stuff now, and we should be used to it. But every time I see another video clip of him doing the kind of action aspects, it still blows my mind.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, he's from rom-com actor to action star. Yeah, and this stuff is it's no joke. I mean, people will laugh it off, but just to get some of that sword choreography, just that alone is incredible, and not to mention the gymnastics and the weight training and all that stuff. It's absolutely crazy.
Forget about it. I don't know why I said that in that way, but yeah, it is. It is crazy. I don't understand myself a lot of the time. Right, we've still got like 3 stories to get through, Justin. Let's motor on. The next up is rating description news. Bit of a dry one next, but we have a little more news regarding the ratings description, which tells us more about the film's direction, level of violence and themes. HISSTANK reported on the official document, which states, content elements, one use of the sexual expletive in a non-sexual context, infrequent use of scatological slang, amazing.
Scatological slang.
Poops,
that's beautiful.
Profanity and vulgar expressions, frequent portrayals of hand-to-hand, weapons, gun and vehicular violence, little blood and detail, infrequent portrayals of frightening scenes, infrequent portrayals of alcohol use in a recreational context, thematic elements, loyalty and trust, revenge, teamwork, And then classification rationale, rated for violence and coarse language. So, I mean, does that seem tame to you? It seems like a little tame to me for a PG-13.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think the hand-to-hand weapons, gun, and vehicular violence, the fact that there's a little blood is probably a good thing. I mean, I think they want to make it so it's approachable by a younger audience. Yeah, I don't know how the scatological slang will play into that,
poop.
But poop. But yeah, it's,
I hope they say the word poop, and that's why I had to go.
I hope they say it just like that. Boop.
Boop.
Yeah, but yeah, it does seem a little bit tame. You know, all those swords and stuff swinging around, and there's not a whole lot of blood. You know, it's a G.I. Joe movie, and I think the purpose of the movie is to appeal to a new, younger audience. So I can see why they did it that way.
I mean, yeah, nothing really strikes me like stands out necessarily. The themes, we've kind of known about the themes, haven't we? The kind of revenge aspect and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
So I definitely kind of understand why a lot of this stuff has been done. But again, yeah, I thought it was kind of worth noting and worth talking about. Obviously, like loyalty and trust and teamwork and revenge. It's interesting where they're going to line up, because obviously Snake Eyes is wanting revenge on his father, but at some point, his relationship with Storm Shadow has to break down. Mm-hmm. That has to, because we know that Storm Shadow finishes this movie as you know on the wrong side of the law, shall we say. So we know that at some point something's going to have to break down. So that theme for me is where all this kind of fits in and how it works throughout the story for me.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, they've set up through the trailers and through what we've heard as kind of Kenta is sort of the big bad guy, and then of course Cobra's sort of hovering around out there and figuring out sort of how that dynamic shifts. So Storm Shadow ends up on the opposite side of things. It's really going to be interesting, and that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to, because a lot of the scenes we've seen so far with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow both, they are clearly on the same side and talking to each other like friends. So I mean, there's been some action sequences where it looks like it could be Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow clashing swords, but as far as like really in-depth kind of speaking roles and things like that, it's been mostly, both of them, their backs against each other and kind of fighting off the world. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how that shifts. I do kind of wonder if the death of Hardmaster does play into that in some way. We haven't heard one way or the other if the Hardmaster actually does die.
There's a couple of shots though, isn't there, we've seen in the trailers where he's surrounded by bad guys, and like you wonder, is he gonna get killed in this scene or something? Right. Like I've thought that a few times based on what we know about the comics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it'll be curious to see how that plays a role. Storm Shadow, and at least in the trailers so far, doesn't seem to be particularly attached to the Hardmaster. You don't really see them in kind of a bonding situation or anything like that. Yeah. So we'll have to see kind of how they build that relationship and how they make it so that if the Hardmaster does die, I have no idea if he's going to or not. But if he does, that there is an actual emotional impact, and that it actually provides a realistic catalyst for Storm Shadow kind of swapping sides, so to speak.
Yeah, and I will say, actually, even though we have heard like leaked plot details from the first test screening, there was no mention of that. So not saying it happens or it doesn't happen, but Justin and I, honestly, we have no idea about that. But yeah, really, really interesting stuff. We've got a couple more to do, mate. Couple more to do. Nearly there. Like, this one is actually really interesting as well. This is product placement news. Hyundai have issued a press release regarding the cars that feature in Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. The Sonata N-Line is the main car used in the dramatic Tokyo highway chase, with the Elantra being Scarlett's go-to vehicle and the Santa Fe showing up for a brief appearance as well. 2 special Snake Eyes editions of the Sonata N-Line will be sold in the USA and Korea later this year. Justin, before I get to that question, which I know you've already seen and you're laughing about it, but they've also dropped the TV spot for this as well. So not only do we have a press release, but we also have visuals that are no doubt going on to our left, right, I don't know, to whatever side we're on. It's happening. But Justin, will you be getting these cars?
Well, I mean, yeah, every GI Joe completist. I mean, you can't call yourself a GI Joe completist if you don't get the movie Hyundais. So
Oh,
I'll be
mate.
expecting anybody from here on out who says, "Yes, I'm a completist. I collect everything GI Joe." I'm gonna be like, "Okay, where's your garage?"
Where's your Snake Eyes special
Exactly.
editions? Friggin'
Well, there's
N
two of them.
lines.
Yeah, you got to have two of them. Yep.
I'm
So
hoping. I'm hoping one of them is just all Arashikage symbols all over it.
that'd be great.
That'd be amazing. Or the windscreen does that like visor thing, like
You know,
yeah.
I would probably buy a car if it did that. That'd be pretty cool. Just like,
If I could buy a car like that, yes, it's
yeah.
happening. I don't think I can afford that, mate. Not on the full force wages.
No kidding. You need some more advertisers, man. Let's put a link down there to buy Chris a Hyundai. You know, a Snake Eyes Hyundai.
Come on, guys, hook me up with an Elan. Oh, no, with the N line. Yeah, the Sonata N line.
Yes. Yes.
That's the one I think they. That's the one I think they hoss off the back of the Ultra Magnus on, and do a crazy 180-degree drift, as it was described in the press release. But no, lots of fun. I mean, you know, we're not going to be buying the cars, but it's amazing. And honestly, if I did have the money right now, that's exactly what I would be doing. I would be, if I had to fly to Korea to buy it, I would be doing that straight up.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not? I mean, that you got to admit that would be kind of a cool thing to
Yeah.
do. I mean, be a cool thing to kind of own the quote unquote Snake Eyes car. I mean,
And also,
never going to happen, but it would be cool.
you know, you see like those really sexy cars that have like umbrellas hidden in the doors. Like you just press a button and they come out. Swords. That would be really dangerous, but also really cool too. So
Great for
yeah,
those road rage incidents. You know, you get the guy coming up to the driver's side, all pissed off, just
sword
right off
comes
at the
out.
knees.
There you go, mate. See you later. Anyway, yeah, that's the Hyundai press release and TV spot that has dropped, and it's getting so difficult to keep up with stuff. So difficult, in fact, I didn't even get a chance to write anything for the next the next segment. Okay, this is brilliant. So the creators of Robot Chicken have teamed up with Paramount Pictures to create an amazing classified related Snake Eyes promo. And it is absolutely genius. It's got an homage in there of like the old PSAs. They use the classified G.I. Joe figures and then also the movie figures, and it's just genius. There's a real nod to a lot of the stick that they've been getting, that Snake Eyes can talk and all that kind of stuff. And Henry Golding voices, obviously, Snake Eyes. And it's just hilarious, and it's brilliant, and it's really well done. Probably one of my favourite pieces of promotional material that G.I. Joe has pumped out in the last 30 years, I think, for me.
Yeah, it's really the thing that's impressive is a lot of times when companies, you know, do this sort of, you know, joke promo, it can feel kind of forced, you know, it doesn't feel natural, you know, it's like, okay, you're trying to be funny, but you're not really being very funny. But this one really nails it. I mean, they've got the tone, they've got the language, they've got sort of the body language. It was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I was, you know, I saw the link come through and I was like, oh man, it's a stop motion thing. It's going to be one of those public service announcements. They're going to be all corny and it's not going to be that funny. And then I watched it and I was like, that was hilarious.
It's great how they like just keep bypassing all the like gung ho, roadblock, just keep going straight past them. And it's, oh, look, it's Snake Eyes. And it's like, what? Snake Eyes can't talk. And then he's like, I'm Henry Golding. And it's just really cute. And
it was hilarious.
I thought it was, and like, again, like the stop motion's really good on it too. Like, and those classified figures are just gorgeous, aren't they? Like,
yes, they are.
I think that out of all of this, you've got one hell of a line that looks visually stunning.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah, the kind of ways they moved and posed and just kind of looking at them and be like, oh yeah, look at that, you know, Gung Ho and Roadblock and Lady J. They all look, you know, very different, but you know, really nicely designed and developed. And you know, even the Snake Eyes movie figure is just, it all looks fantastic, and the way they do the mouths and the eyes, and it was purely, it was like Robot Chicken actually did it. It was, you know, like you said, the same people that were behind Robot Chicken, but they, you know, clearly Paramount and Hasbro kind of said, do your thing. We're not going
Yeah.
to get mixed up in it. We're not going to, force you to write it a certain way. I mean, that whole line about good luck with your reboot, and he was like, it's an origin story. It's just hilarious.
It's as well, like I will. It's Stupid Buddy is the Stupid Buddy Studios with lots of O's. But obviously, yeah, they obviously were the studio behind Robot Chicken and multiple other stop motion stuff. But yeah, oh mate, it just hits the right. It hits the right notes and it hits the right beats, and it's just absolutely superb. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Links below. There's going to be a lot of links below in this bloody episode, I'll tell you that much. But Justin, we have managed to get through this one in fairly good time there. Wow. We are literally on such a tight schedule at the moment. It is bonkers. And like I said on the weekly, some amazing stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. Some really, like, stuff I can't discuss at the moment. Lots of NDA kind of deals and things like that. But we're going to have some really cool content for you in the next couple of weeks. Justin, mate, thank you for jumping on for this ridiculous roundup of the weeks. I felt like there was a week's worth this morning.
I know, no kidding. It was just kept on coming and coming and coming. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but in a good way.
Yeah, coming in a good way. I'll cut that out. Mate, thank you so much. I'll leave you to it now so you can relax. You can go watch all the videos and the TV spots and all of the friggin' things that I rushed through a lot of the international TV spots, but I didn't actually see much in the way of new footage in the in the TV spots. They were just like organized slightly differently in terms of like edit, but still really cool to see loads coming through. Anyway, I guess I'll see you next week for another ridiculous roundup.
I think every week we get closer to the movie, it's just going to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
We're gonna have to like a movie review. We're gonna have to do all sorts of crazy stuff. Aren't we? Are we not?
We are.
Oh, sorry, I'm all over the place this morning.
That's
anyway,
fine.
Justin, buddy, thank you. That brings us to the end of another ridiculous episode. Thank you for watching the Full Force Movie News Burst Weekly. Massive thank you to my awesome co-host, Justin Bell. See you next time. And as always, after 3, 1, 2, 3...
Full Force!
Snake Eyes. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.